Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at how to convert word problems into algebra. So here's my first opening question. Farmer Tom has 10 rows of corn and 25 rows of tomatoes. How many rows of crops does he have? So first I want you guys to think about how would we normally solve this question? It's pretty simple. We would just add the rows of corn and the rows of tomatoes together to get the total amount of rows of crops. So can we represent this equation using algebra? Sure. We can say that the total rows of crops can be represented as x. Then we can just say 10 plus 25 equals x and then solve for x. Let's practice some harder problems now. Emily has 3 apples, 4 strawberries, and a few grapes. In total, she has 10 pieces of fruit. How many grapes does she have? So what do we know? We know that Emily has 3 apples. So at this point, I want everybody to be writing down the blue. Okay, so go into your guided notes and write down whatever appears in blue. We also know that she has 4 strawberries. As well, we know that her total amount of fruit that she has is 10. So we could say that the total fruit is 10. We also want to find how many grapes she has. So that's what we're finding, her grapes. So we can represent this using a capital G. Let's put it all together. We could say 3 plus 4 plus G equals 10. Then we could solve for G. And I know you guys already know how to do this. But for time being, we're just going to be converting these word problems into these algebraic equations. All right, next question. Dan owns 10 chocolate bar factories. Each factory makes 1,000 bars a minute. How many bars does Dan's factories make in an hour? So what do we know? First of all, we know that Dan owns 10 factories. So, like before, write down 10 in your guided notes. We also know that the amount of chocolate bars each factory makes per minute is 1,000. So there's something hidden in this question that it doesn't exactly say, but we need to know. We need to know that an hour equals 60 minutes because it says how many bars does Dan's chocolate factories make in an hour. So we need to convert hours to minutes. All right, so what are we finding? We're trying to find the total amount of chocolate bars made throughout all the factories. So let's represent this with a C. Now we could just say 10 times 1,000 times 60 equals C, and this is our equation. So let's look at converting some word problems into expressions. Allie made a portfolio consisting of 10 pieces of art. It took her T amount of time to complete each art piece. How long did it take her to complete the portfolio? So what do we know? We know that Allie made a portfolio consisting of 10 art pieces. So we could say that the amount of art equals 10. We also know that each piece took a certain amount of time, T. So representing this with an expression, we could just say the amount of art, 10, times T, the time. Next question. Bob made 35 cookies for his class. His class consists of S amount of students. How many cookies does each student get? So what do we know? We know that Bob made 35 cookies. We also know that his class consists of a certain amount of students. Let's represent this as S. What we're trying to find is how many cookies does each student get. So we're going to simply just say the amount of cookies Bob made divided by each student, all the students, which is S. Okay, now it's your turn to try. So go into Google Classroom and answer the first question. I'm going to see if it's correct and then tell you where to go from then. All right, bye guys.